when he was assigned for some very difficult projects. And ISKCON back then had not all the resources which it has right now, the present time. So it was growing, it was developing, and the Juhu project in Bombay was coming up. A huge, massive project. And Tamal Krishna Maharaj, being an American, was assigned to look after that project in India, in Bombay. The construction, fundraising, etc., etc. Imagine. So, Tamal Krishna Maharaj, at one point of time, he came to Srila Prabhupada, and he was kind of almost on the verge of just giving up, that it was becoming too much for him to handle affairs in India. So he asked a very interesting question to Srila Prabhupada. He said, Prabhupada, when I met you initially, when I heard from you, I remember you telling that Krishna consciousness is very simple. How many of us, we heard this statement, or we have been hearing this statement that Krishna consciousness is very simple? What do you think? Is it or is it not? Krishna consciousness, is it simple or is it complicated?
It is simple, but the mind is complicated.
Yes. Brajendra Lal Prabhu has become self-realized. So yes, Krishna consciousness is very simple. Are we simple? That is the most important question. So when Srila Prabhupada was asked this question by Tamal Krishna Maharaj, Prabhupada, you said that Krishna consciousness is very simple. Prabhupada said, yes, even now I say the same thing. Krishna consciousness is very simple. Back then I said Krishna consciousness is very simple. Even now I say the same thing. Krishna consciousness is very simple. I never told you that Krishna consciousness is going to be easy. Is there a difference between being simple and being easy? What is the difference? Now what do you think? Krishna consciousness along with being simple is not easy. These two words, being simple and being easy. Or if I use the word opposite of easy, difficult. What do you say? Krishna consciousness, Prabhupada said, is difficult, not easy. Now, let us try to analyze Prabhupada's statement when he said that I always said Krishna consciousness is simple, but I never said that Krishna consciousness is going to be easy. What are the things in Krishna consciousness? I would like to ask the august assembly over here. What are the things in Krishna consciousness up until now you have experienced are simple though, but not easy? Any examples?
Hi Krishna, getting up very early in the morning.
Haribol.
Getting up very early in the morning. You have to define early means what?
Before the sun comes up.
It's very relative.
Before the sun comes up.
Before the sun comes out. What time the sun comes out here?
8:30.
8:30? Really?
No.
So which means 8:20 is early. If 8:30 is sunrise, I'm getting up 8:20 before sunrise. quite relative. Yes, we
In
understood
some
the
are
point.
different.
We understood the point.
Still, that is also different.
Okay, so getting up early, it's an act of simplicity. Getting up late, sometimes it's because of helplessness or luxury. Some people, because of their sickness, they are not able to get up early. Some people, because they have the luxury of sleeping till late. How many of you have the luxury of sleeping till late? Okay, nobody is going to question you. Your job is like what? Starts by noon. I remember my school timings, 10:30 in the morning would be there. I never remember getting up before 9 o'clock. And I was forced to get up. Even then, 9 a.m. I would be forced to get up. One of our brahmacharis, he was finding it very difficult to get up for Mangalarti. It was like, when pressing problem that, how will I ever be able to get up for Mangalarti? So when he was studying in the hostel before joining, so he started to practice how to get up early. So his routine was to get up by around 9:15, and his day would begin then. So someone suggested that you start 15 minutes, you get up 15 minutes before the scheduled time you get up. Like 8:45, you get up 8:45, you begin with that. So 8:45 was like a big accomplishment. For 1 week, 8:45, I'm getting up 15 minutes before my scheduled time of waking up. Then after 1 week, 8:30, like that. He gets up at 4. So okay, one thing is getting up early. What else in Krishna consciousness seems to be very simple but not very easy? Sitting on the floor. It's an act of simplicity. Sitting on the floor is an act of simplicity. If you tell someone that I go and listen to a lecture in the Hare Krishna temple for 2 hours, sitting on the floor, that itself, people will be shocked. Sitting on the floor. Just today, one devotee was asking me this question. That, Prabhuji, tell me one thing. I'm really concerned about you. What is this? He said that the other day I saw you sitting cross-legged for 2 hours, and you didn't even change the leg position. Doesn't it hurt you? Because I was sitting right in front of you, you were saying, and I was feeling so restless. Not only was I concerned about you, I was concerned about myself. I was concerned about the entire audience. When will this lecture get over? So that at least we can stretch our knees. Sitting on the floor is an act of simplicity, is it not? Is it easy? Especially in this country, it's not. You're not used to sitting on floors. Wherever you go, even attending nature's call here in this country, they have luxurious arrangements. What else? Chanting. How chanting is an act of simplicity? Tell me. I know it is difficult, but I want to know. Everyone knows it's not so easy. Okay, let's put it like that. Okay, so how chanting is an act of simplicity?
It's repeating some very simple words.
Yeah, it's not a very complex mantra.
Yeah.
It's not that you have to chant some very in a certain meter, Anushtup Chanda of Sanskrit. Don't worry if you don't know. Anushtupa Chanda of Sanskrit, you have to chant in that meter. Sometimes we find, people, devotees, when they chant their japa, various different meters they chant, and the different levels, modulations in which they chant. That's another thing. They are in different moods. Some are in ecstasy, some have ashtavikar, some have no vikar, some they are nirvikar, totally the Brahma Jyoti. They sometimes reach the Brahma Jyoti. So they are not in the material world, not in the spiritual world. They are floating in the Brahma Jyoti sometimes for hours and hours. So yes, simple words, Hare Krishna Ram, 3, just that. उसी का हेर बदल है यहाँ पर. Hare Krishna Ram बस. What else is the simplicity in chanting? You have to chant in the humble state of mind. Act of simplicity, very difficult. To remain humble than a blade of grass. Humility. Now, just answer this question honestly. Outside of Krishna consciousness, how many times even this word is being used nowadays? In the regular conversation. The word humility. At your workplace, how many times do you, use, in your vocabulary, this word humility?
It's absent from
I'll tell you a real life incident of mine. This was many years ago. The first preaching assignment given to me in Mumbai was to preach in schools, value education. So there was one school right next to our Chopadi temple, and I was approached by the principal. In fact, they had approached us. So I was assigned to go and do that preaching. So I was talking to the principal that what you have in mind, what do you want me to teach to your students? And the principal said that values, ethics, moralities, ideal lifestyle. So I asked why your teachers are not teaching, just a curiosity. It was a curious question. And she said, our teachers can teach, but the problem is they don't want to. I asked why? Because this is a very difficult subject. I said, what is so difficult? If they can teach mathematics, if they can teach science and all these other complex subjects. Value education, what is so difficult? The difficulty is they don't follow themselves. So for them to look square into the eyes of the children and tell them, you should not speak lies. You should not cheat. You should be honest. All these principles. And the students very well know. जो विद्यार्थी हैं वो शिक्षकों का कच्चा चिट्ठा जानते हैं. They know everything about this teachers. And therefore, they are very much afraid to speak such things. And therefore, we need someone who follows in their lives, who walks their talk. So therefore, we have approached the ISKCON society for that. What does that mean? We are supposed to walk our talk. Because that is what people have an impression, and that is what they are expecting from us, that we walk our talk, we practice what we preach. So I designed a course on value education, and there were various topics. I took the 20 points of knowledge from the 13th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Begins with humility. The first point of knowledge is humility. So I was giving a lecture for almost an hour on humility to the 10th year students. And I heard there were some backbenchers creating some noise. So I asked one of them that, why don't you stand up and tell us that what are we discussing this morning?